Hello and welcome to North Country Matters. My name is Donna Seymour. I'm a member of the St. Lawrence County League of Women Voters, one of the civic partners for this show. Today we have Maggie McKenna in the studio with us, and Maggie is the executive director, the new executive director of the St. Lawrence County Arts Council. Maggie, welcome back to North Country Matters. You've been a guest on this show every time you've gotten a new job, so this is a new job, and this job shares a lot of the same characteristics as your previous jobs for the Public Library and the Chamber of Commerce, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just I'm just getting back into the arts, which has always been my passion, so I'm really excited to be in this role, and it's putting together a lot of my passions and bringing what I love to the community.
And utilizing a lot of your skills as well,
Certainly.
So that's good. So let's talk a little bit about the Arts Council. Give us a quick history of it and what its mission is. It's been around in one form or another for a long time.
It has, yeah. So in 1972 it was the Arts and Humanities Council of St. Lawrence Valley, and then it shifted over to the Tri-County Arts Council, which is St. Lawrence, Lewis, and Jefferson. I believe that's what the three counties were back then. But then in 1997, it became the St. Lawrence County Arts Council, and actually I believe that was when Hillary Oak took over, and she was the executive director. I believe the first paid executive director possibly of those other organizations too, but I don't know all of that history quite yet.
Well, it's been going on for over 40 years now.
It has, absolutely. So Hillary was the director for about 10 years, and then she left to pursue other things, I suppose. And then Becca Wilkins-Peviton was the executive director for about a year and a half, and then she moved away. And Susie McBroom was my most recent predecessor, and she was 4.5 years as the executive director, but she had been in the organization for 10 years, so she had a really great institutional knowledge.
Right.
She's still in the area, thankfully, so I can still talk to her and say, hey, how do I do this, or why is this the way it is, and so it's really great to have that kind of support.
Well, it sounds like over the last 45 years, if you went from a 3-county area to 1-county area, that's because you've really been able to grow the arts and be able to focus more just here in St. Lawrence County. Not that that isn't a big geographic area to be in charge of.
Well, we are St. Lawrence County, but we actually do cover Jefferson and Lewis as well with our decentralization READ grant program. So we're technically St. Lawrence County, but we're also really supporting all those all 3 counties through that program, and really our main focus is to bring artists and art organizations together. That's one of our primary mission points, is to bring those organizations together to collaborate, to share ideas, to create new opportunities or enhance existing ones. So that's a lot of what we do, is kind of a clearinghouse for information for the arts community. Right,
and so you also work to encourage public and private support of the arts as well, which is funding. You just can't ever get away from it, can we?
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, the thing is that we've been very focused in the past years about supporting artists and supporting arts organizations, and I think that's incredibly important. But I think that the way I see our mission and what we do shifting is that our actual tagline is local art for everyone. And I think, I mean, you could see this because I organize that for concert series and stuff like that, and I really find it important to bring the arts to the community. And once we create more opportunities to have everyone and anyone involved in the arts in whatever capacity they see fit, they feel interested and engaged and comfortable with, that it actually supports artists, and it supports arts organizations even more, because then those opportunities are created. The community can be the driving force of the organization.
Right. And so promotion is a big part of what you do as well. And it's really a soup to nuts organization, because you don't focus on any one part of the arts, do you?
Right.
It's from performing arts to a lot of what people would consider to be like crafts
Sure.
as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that we've been very focused on visual arts, and my background's in performing arts, so we're going to be doing more with performing arts, with literary arts, and I'm talking to Annie at the library about doing things too. So yeah, I think that we're going to see even more disciplines covered now that I'm in here. So I'm excited.
A different vision brings a different opportunities,
Right.
doesn't it?
Exactly.
Well, that's great. So talk a little bit about the services that the Arts Council brings to the arts in the area.
Certainly. One of the biggest things is our community classes, and people really enjoy those. We have actually a three-day pottery class happening right now that's really well attended. So different classes are visual arts generally, but there's some music classes, some dance classes, but our facilities are a little bit limiting right now. To hold all of those kinds of classes, but that's huge. We also have our art gallery at the Potsdam Town Hall, so that's just in the hallway, and it's a really lovely space, and we're able to host events there too. So the exhibits, that's definitely really important. We did have,
And they change quite a bit, because when I
yeah.
find myself down there, I always walk that hallway, and it's not a static gallery at all,
we change
is
it
it?
about every 6 or 5 to 8 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, so we have that's huge, and it's a great way to get artists' work out there to the community. And right now, actually, we have a Scholastic Art and Writing Awards exhibit, the Central New York region, and so it's art from high school students, basically from Norwood and Parrishville and Governor and stuff like that in Potsdam. So it's amazing, actually. It's all these kids that are in 10th grade or whatever through high school, and their work is absolutely inspiring. So that's really great. And then our next exhibit is Estella Calderon, who's a professor at St.Lawrence University, and her exhibit's called Pollen. It's going to have a bit of an environmental theme.
Okay.
And her work is really lovely too. So it's exciting to have that kind of shift. I definitely want to grow our gallery program and have more gallery spaces out there. We do have exhibit space in the Ogdensburg Airport, but I don't know how long that's going to be continuing for various reasons. There's a lot of stuff I'm still getting my head wrapped around, but one of them that's a little complicated. But yeah, so the art gallery program is really important. As we were saying, the space, we also have space in Old Snell Hall, so we rent that to some artists, and we have other spaces that people can rent for meetings and that kind of thing.
And we should take just a second to tell
Yeah.
people that Old Snell Hall is in downtown Potsdam, because there's 3 actual Snell Halls in Potsdam,
Yeah.
and it can be a little confusing, but it's the old sandstone building right across from the library where we are right now.
Right,
so.
exactly. I can see the library entrance from my office, so
Right.
that's where we are. You also mentioned on your outline, the lighting studio, which is actually a partnership with the Potsdam Public Library, and we're gonna think about how we can grow that program as well. But I also wanted to mention that we organize the Remington Arts Festival in Canton, and that's always during St. Lawrence University's alumni week, or no, it's family weekend. So that's the last weekend in September this year. We administer the decentralization grants through the New York State Council on the Arts, and honestly, that's the bread and butter of our organization right now. It's so important to what we do, because what we're doing with it is funding all the different types of community projects that are happening around the area. The little concert series that are happening in Wanakina, or Star Lake, or Colton, or Messina, or there's a chalk art project that's happening in DePauville. Like those little projects we help to fund. So it's really important to be assisting smaller organizations, or sometimes bigger organizations, but other organizations to bring more arts
That really
communities.
spreads it out in all of the smaller communities as well as the bigger communities where more things are happening anyway.
Right. So the New York State Council on the Arts gives that funding to specific areas around the state to distribute, and that's what we work on.
Maggie, talk to us a little bit about renting space for individuals, groups, not-for-profits, and for businesses that pertain to the creative and performing arts, because sometimes space is the big hang-up, isn't it,
Sure.
for folks?
Unfortunately, we're not focusing that much on the rental space right now because with the Old Snell Hall is possibly going to be renovated in the next year, so we may be out of there and we're not
Of course,
exactly
we've
sure where
heard
we're at.
we've heard that for a number of years.
But, so it's a little up in the air, so
Yeah.
I don't really want to publicize it too much that we have lots of space.
Right.
But we do have a special arts room, and I'd love to talk about that program a little bit
Okay.
too. We have a special art room, we have a boardroom, we have a craft studio that's kind of a messy space, not a purposefully messy space. And that's where we have our pottery classes, and there's all sorts of other things going on up there. But yeah, nonprofits, for anybody really can rent that space. We do also have a couple of artist studios upstairs, but again, that's kind of limited right now just because of the
And
implications of
music
where we'll
groups
be.
can also rehearse there, right? If the community band or community chorus, something
We
like that.
don't quite have enough room for that right
Okay.
now. We used to when we had
Okay.
a dance studio, but that dance studio is no longer.
Oh, okay, so that's
available,
changed.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's new, that's actually new, in the last probably 6 to 8 months or so,
Okay,
from what I know.
okay. So talk to us a little bit about the special arts that you just
Yes,
mentioned.
the
Let's
special
get some
arts.
information about
Oh,
that.
it's an incredible program. So Tracy Wanamaker is basically the only music therapist in the whole region, and she teaches a series of, I want to say 8 different classes, mostly in Potsdam, but she also goes to Messina and Ogdensburg, and she has an assistant that works with her as well. But these classes they're called Special Arts for Special Needs, and it's a program partially funded by the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. So it's for people with special needs to experience art, and I just had that this morning, and they're just singing and dancing and making art, and it's just so much fun, and it's heartwarming to see these folks just having such a wonderful time. The program is growing, and more people are finding out about it and are interested in it. We work with Nice Art or the ARC and
Right, they're now called, right.
and Cerebral Palsy and other kinds of organizations around the area to get more people in there. But we also have a program that's an integrated arts class for preschool and early elementary school students. So I didn't even realize that this existed. And I have 2 little kids, so I want to bring them to this class. It's on Mondays at 5:30. So it's a great opportunity for people with and without special needs to come together and just experience music and art together.
Oh, that's great. It sounds like a wonderful program. One of the things that I noticed, we're right in the middle of high school play and musical season, and I noticed on your social media page, your Facebook page, that you're doing a lot of promotion of events at the high schools around the area. So talk to us a little bit about how you are able to use social media to do that, and how people can get their information about their events to you, so you can put it up on your website and your calendar.
So one of the things that we shared recently was, I believe, the Madrid Waddington School Musical, because we actually had an artist teaching grant through the decentralization program, where we funded an artist to help with set design for that show, and I believe another show. I don't remember the details of that, but that was one of the big reasons why we posted that, because it was partially funded by our program. So that's been really great. But I'm on social media at home in the middle of the night or whatever, whatever it is. But I share things that I think are applicable that people want to know about. But anybody can message us on Facebook. Send me an email, arts@slcartscouncil.org.
And we'll put all that up. We'll put all that up on our show notes, so people have access to that.
Right. So people can message me, send me an email, or message me on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll try to share things as they come up. We can also add things to our page so that more of our followers see it. We do have a decent following on our social media, and I intend to grow that as I get in there a little bit more. I'm figuring out my priorities still and spending my time wisely.
Well, it's a big job just finding out what you have and then how to organize it better and be able to offer new things, because that's how organizations like that grow, is not just by relying on your old standbys, but by creating new opportunities.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that we actually have a communications manager position posted right now, so I'm hoping to get somebody in pretty soon to help with our social media, with our email newsletter, with our print quarterly newsletter, which is really an incredible tool that we have for organizations to get the word out about their programming, and for us, of course, obviously, to get the word out about ours too.
Sure. So one of the things, Maggie, that the arts are an economic driver. And talk to us about how that works and why the Arts Council is, and the organizations and the groups and the artists that you're supporting are really good for the economy of the North Country, because that's a very, that can't be outsourced. That's hands-on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been saying this since I got the job. I'm like, this is the opportunity. This is what we're looking for. This is what we need to grow. The arts, I think about competition. I think about business. I think about for-profit organizations, and the arts are just kind of standalone. Even, I worked at the library. I worked at the chamber. I worked at Tawny in Canton, which is also an arts organization. And none of them are competitors. We're all just working together to bring the community together. And so the arts, especially for me as a musician, as an artist, not so much a visual artist, but as a musical artist, I just have always seen that the arts in general, all disciplines included, bring the community together. But it's also people of means are drawn to the arts as well. People that are highly educated, people that are not highly educated. It doesn't matter where you stand in the spectrum of the economy, or of the education system. It doesn't matter. You're going to connect to some kind of art form, no matter what. So that's what I think is so important about it. But I do also think that having a focus on culture and arts in our community does bring in the physicians and the professors and who want to live in a place that's vibrant.
That's right.
And I just think that it's crucial to our economy, especially in such a rural area, to have a huge focus on the arts.
Yeah, and it becomes one of those quality of life issues that you don't have to be in a big city to have an opportunity to listen to great concerts or great performers or see good art,
Right.
because we're in a thankfully the four colleges help to bring that type of thing to us. And it's here, it's right here.
Right.
You don't have to go somewhere for it.
It's true, and not everybody wants to go onto campus for things. It's just the way that things are here for whatever reason. But I think that the Arts Council kind of has the opportunity to bring campus off campus, or to give back to campus a little bit and say, hey, we're gonna have Estella Calderon's art here. We're going to have our interns come from SUNY Potsdam or from Clarkson or St. Lawrence or SUNY Canton. We're going to have our member show at the Gibson Gallery on campus. We're going to help the local arts festival come downtown. We're gonna collaborate on these different things to bring those two communities together.
Right, and that's always a good thing.
For sure.
And you mentioned a little bit about some of the events. For example, here in Potsdam we have the Summer Festival. Over in Augsburg it's the Seaway Festival. Those always have a big component of arts, don't they?
Because that's what draws people. It always does, whether you think about it as arts or not, that is what it is. And I hope more people do think about it as arts and realize how crucial it is to our lives.
Right, and just making sure that when people do come, that they've got a really wide variety of things to take advantage of while they're here. It's why the colleges schedule Alumni Weekend during Summerfest.
Right.
It's because it's a great time for you to get out and enjoy the place where you came to college,
Right.
and just kind of reconnect.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have our member show actually opening Summerfest weekend. on campus. And we're also going to probably be down for Summerfest in the park on that Saturday, July 13th. So
the networking connections you made as the chamber director are absolutely applicable to your work now, aren't they?
Certainly. I mean, it's all about bringing everybody together.
Yep.
That's what it's all about, and that's what I loved about the chamber, and that's what I love about the Arts Council, and it's just I get to focus on the arts even more now.
Well, you mentioned a little bit about the grants.
Yeah.
And the kinds of, so talk about the kinds of grants that are available and how you help to manage how all that gets, all that money gets to the performers.
We actually have a grant coordinator, Alicia Murphy. She's been in the position for, I believe, about 5 years, and she has a great handle on the whole program. So we have 3 different grant opportunities. The Community Arts Grant that's open to just nonprofits, 501c3s, but you can also use a fiscal conduit if you don't have an official nonprofit sorted out or something like that. Like I did when I organized the Ice Park Concert Series, I worked with another nonprofit as a fiscal conduit the first couple of years, and then that organization just decided to take it on.
Right.
We're actually going to be folding that into the Arts Council in the too, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, the Community Arts Grant, the Artist Teaching Grant that I mentioned, and that's bringing arts programming, a specific artist, an individual artist, bringing arts programming into the schools. It can be after school, it can be during school, but those are very limited. I think it's only 2 artists in each of the counties. And then the Public Art Fellowship, which is also limited to, I believe, about 2 artists in each county, and that is creating art that's available to the public in public spaces on public property. So you've probably seen on social media, Sarah Lynch has been painting penguins at Pine Street Arena, and I think she upstairs here at the library drew some ants carrying books or mice carrying books or something like that. So she's just putting little lovely touches onto public property with permission, of course.
Yes.
I can't think of what our other public art programs are right this second, but that's another area that I see a lot of potential in. I mean, I've talked to a number of people about murals and about interesting temporary art installations, and just music in public places too, just kind of more organic.
So if somebody has an idea about that, they should get a hold of you, and you can maybe make the connections or help to make the connections.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'd love to see that we can build an endowment for public arts in the county or something like that, so that we can make a public art program happen all over the place on a regular basis. I'd love to see that happen. So certainly in the works. Not really right this second, but soon.
It's on the to-do list.
It is.
Or the wish-for list. Yeah. So you mentioned a little while ago, Maggie, about interns. Do you have opportunities for interns at the Arts Council?
Yes, absolutely. We usually have a marketing intern, and we do currently actually. David Ash from SUNY Potsdam, he's an arts management major, and he's helping with press releases and social media and a little bit of design work and stuff like that. So it's a great opportunity to get your feet wet in basically marketing a nonprofit.
Gain some real world experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've had other types of interns before, but I haven't figured out where those positions have been and where they've gone from now. So hopefully next semester we'll have more interns happening. Yeah.
And again, opportunities for people who want to get their feet wet and get some real world experience.
Yeah, and with SUNY Potsdam's arts management program now, it's really, that's a game changer in my eyes. I think that's a great program. It's a great opportunity for people, because it's hard to figure out how to be a director of an arts council or the development director of the opera or something like that. It's hard to get into those kinds of positions and know exactly what you're getting into. So I think they're great programs.
Oh, good. So let's talk a little bit about how the public, general folks, can support the work that the council's doing and where they can go to find out more information. So talk about some of the ways people can donate to you or get connected to you.
Yeah, sure. So we are in Old Snell Hall. We're generally there like 9 to 2, 9 to 3. Some days I have to leave a little early, and I'm hoping we have more staff coverage of the office soon. But just come stop in, give us a call, shoot me an email, message me on Facebook if you have any questions or anything like that. But people can go to our website, SLC Arts. council.org/give, and we've got a whole bunch of information about where your dollars can go, because really we are grant supported, but we're very much donor supported in a lot of ways. So we hope that some folks will consider a regular gift to the Arts Council to help us continue our work. So yeah, that page, you can also mail check to P.O. Box 252 in Potsdam, New York, 13676.
Tell us about the Fine Arts Calendar. That's kind of an ongoing project.
It is. Every year we do a paper calendar, and it's art from local artists, and it's just beautiful. And Catherine LaPointe Volmer of Lionheart Graphics, she's our graphic designer, and she does the layout for it. So it's a lovely calendar. Just the calendar page is great. So. It's $10. You can purchase them in the office. Again, you can give me we don't have it online right now for purchase, but you can purchase them in the office, give me a holler, and I can bring them to an event, or usually I have them at events too. So that's certainly a little fundraiser we have. If you give over $100 too, we'll send you one for free. So
there you go. Is there a way for people to donate their time too, as well as to what the work that you're doing?
Yeah,
if they've got time to give.
Well, we do have a board too, so I'm actually actively working on growing our board a little bit right now by a couple people. So if anybody's interested in joining the board, they should definitely reach out to me. We also have a few committees that I cannot list off right now because I can't think of what they are.
That's all right. If people want to know, they can get a hold of you for the details. Sure.
But yeah, we have committees. I've actually had some really wonderful people come in and help out with stuffing envelopes and just thinking through some program ideas or fundraising ideas. So, if you have expertise and you're willing to share that with me, I would be so grateful. So give me a holler. I'd love to meet with you.
So somebody who wants to support the arts but maybe isn't an artist themselves, this is a great opportunity for them to do that.
I mean, everybody's skills are needed somewhere,
Right.
So, I mean, I think that everybody's an artist in whatever form they're in. I mean, an accountant is like an artist in their own financial way too,
They make those numbers dance.
Me too.
So that's great. So as we wrap up here, Maggie, is there anything that you'd like to add and just kind of give folks a feel for something that, the Arts Council is unique in some way?
Sure. As I said before, local art for everyone. That's what our primary focus is. We want to give to the community what the community wants, and I think I have a decent handle on that from being in the community and being in different roles, but I think there's even more opportunity that I couldn't even imagine. So I hope that people will reach out to me and let me know what you'd like to see. And we're in this transition now where I'm learning and the board is learning, and our members are learning, and we're all we can go wherever we want to go, and it's really exciting in so many ways. So I hope that people will see the great value that the Arts Council does bring to our communities in St. Lawrence County, and I hope you guys will reach out to me and see if we can bring this place exactly where our community wants it to be.
Thank you, Maggie. As always, you bring enthusiasm to whatever you do, and it's infectious enthusiasm. So I'm sure the Arts Council is going to do nothing but benefit from having you as in your leadership position, and with your connection to the community, that is only going to enhance on both sides for all of us. So thank you very much for coming in. So our time is up, thank you. These conversations are a production of North Country Matters, which is filmed here in the Fred W. Cleveland Computer Center of the Potsdam Public Library. This program is brought to you through the civic collaboration of the St. Lawrence County League of Women Voters and the Potsdam Public Library. And until next time, please remember, our North Country matters. Our North Country arts matter. Thanks, Maggie, for coming in.